Dear divine team, archangels, ancestral guardians, I ask you to guide me with the messages from this reading so they can come through clearly, concisely, and continue to guide us on our path towards greater understanding of where we are headed on this collective planetary journey and this adventure back to source, back to self, back to soul. So tonight is the night of the 1010 portal activation, and there's so many upgrades, downloads taking place, so I felt like now is a great time to go ahead and tap into some of these energies. So let us commence this reading. Spirit, please give us clarity today on the collective energies that we are supposed to be embodying at this time. Now that we are coming to the close of the 1010 portal, even though it's going to be lingering and continuing on for the next few days, weeks, who knows, how long it's going to have a lasting impact. We would like to know what energy as a collective should we be embodying at this time more than any other energy. Please show us this energy. Help us to fortify this energy, to master this energy, whatever it may be, so that we can move into eclipse season with ease, grace, and confidence. Thank you, Spirit. Can we get one card? One card, Spirit. Thank you very much. Ooh. Wow. Seeker of Flames. Oh, wow. So that is the Page of Wands. Okay, this card represents spiritual initiation. And I'm sorry you guys probably can't see it too well because right now I'm pretty much representing the waning crescent energy, which is the lunar phase that we're currently in. So I'm really wanting to keep the lights dim. But this is some incredible energy. I don't know if you can see this image. You probably cannot see it. Oh, I want you guys to see it so bad. Okay, well, let me just describe it. So basically, there is an initiate who's kneeling down on their knees before this Egyptian deity. And I'm not quite sure which Egyptian deity this is. I want to say that's either Sekhmet or Heru. But I believe that is Sekhmet. And Sekhmet's carrying this fire, right? And this initiate is totally draped in this fiery robe, and they're holding a wand. So this represents total spiritual initiation, because the seekers are pages, and pages are students. So this is going on a journey, going on an internal journey. It can also represent going on an external journey, but I feel like at this time, Spirit is saying this is more of a spiritual journey that we are meant to be embodying as a collective, and that we're really supposed to be activating this fiery Kundalini spirit energy within us so that we can harness it for all of the celestial energies that are about to unfold upon the collective. And that is so beautiful. Wow. Seeker of Flames. And when I did the pre-shuffle, or when I did the post-shuffle, we got the Seeker of Crystals at the top of the deck. So this is the Page of Pentacles. And this represents earthly abundance. Now, this is the opposite of, the Seeker of Flames. But lately I've been channeling and pulling forth a lot of fire and earth energy. Fire represents spirit, and earth represents more material and physical things. So I feel like we're going on two separate journeys right now. One, to get grounded and to get rooted and centered, and to embody all of the treasures of the earth. So this can be like physical, material wealth or abundance, security, things of that nature. And these kind of things will help us to feel more rooted, grounded, and secure with ourselves. Now at the bottom of the deck, we had this amazing card, which is the Ace of Chalices, which is the Ace of Cups, which represents a gift of joy, of happiness. And this is so beautiful. Like, this is the kind of card that you really want to cherish, because this represents a new beginning, like in our emotional state, our emotional being. This represents like an overflowing joy and abundance and happiness. So this 1010 portal activation is going to have us feeling so much more elevated, upgraded, and just ready to really like dive right into whatever it is that our individual spirits are calling us towards. So whether you have a soul path to follow your passion, to be creative, to start a family, to manifest or call forth your soulmate or twin flame, or whatever it is, you know, this 1010 portal activation is allowing for that energy to really come through at this time, through a gift from spirit, a gift from the cosmos, a gift from the universe, a gift from above. And then at the bottom of the deck, pre-shuffle, we had the Adept of Crystals, which is the King of Pentacles, and this is an incredible and amazing key. This key represents a masculine, a king who has mastered the art of calling forth his abundance over the material plane. So this represents someone that's really sitting in their power. He's also an authority figure, like somebody that you can really call towards and call upon for wisdom, guidance, counsel. This is an incredible thing to be at the bottom of the deck. So these are all some amazing energies coming through right now. And I'm already like running out of questions to ask. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is already so overwhelming. But let's see. We'll just call upon some more questions though here. Let's see, what am I being guided to ask? How will this 1010 portal activation eternally change us as a collective within the earth plane? How will this 1010 portal activation eternally change us within the earth plane? Wow, the Lovers. So we have twin flames energy coming through. This is major arcana coming through. This represents divine love, sacred union, pure happiness, you know, blissfulness. Now this also can represent choices. It's the card of choices. So perhaps we are at the precipice of making choices now. After this 1010 portal activation, it's all about making the right choices, making sure the choices that we make are in alignment with our higher self and in alignment with who we are intended to become on this journey. Our soul path, essentially, our solar imprint, our solar blueprint, whatever you want to call it. This energy is really being highlighted at this time as how we're meant to come through and how we are eternally being changed and shifted by this energy. Okay, let's see. What other questions do we want to ask? Spirit. Okay, how is this 1010 portal activation going to change us eternally within not the earth plane but the 5D plus dimension? How is this going to impact us, Spirit? In what way is the collective going to be impacted by this activation portal eternally, but within the 5D plus realms, so the higher dimensional realms, the higher dimensional densities? with these cards? Okay, so 2 cards came out. Let's see, we have the 3 of Orbs, which is the 3 of Swords, and then we have the 5 of Chalices, the 5 of Cups. So give me a second to kind of see how I'm going to intuitively channel this message. Well, you know, the 5 of Chalices, it does represent like disappointment, heartache, grief. However, I feel like in this sense, it's stating that we're moving beyond that. Like now that we've embodied this 10-10 portal activation, grief is going to be a thing of the past. And I'm already feeling that a lot because literally just the day before I was feeling so like heavy and down. And then after the 10-10 portal activated, I started to feel like a lightness, a sense of calmness, of ease. And you can see like with this 5 of Cups card, there's still those 2 cups right there. And even though this individual, they may not be looking at those cups, they're still standing tall. And those 2 of Cups are the same cups from the Lover's card. So, yeah, I feel like now is the time to really like open our eyes completely. This activation is going to allow us to get out of that heavy energy and really move into the flow of abundance, of true love, of unconditional love, and joy. No longer dwelling in disappointment, no longer dwelling in sadness, heaviness, any of those things. And then the 3 of Swords. So this is another card of heartbreak as well, which is interesting. So we have 2 cards of heartbreak. So, okay, so after this 10-10 portal activation, we're asking how is it going to internally shift us as a collective in terms of moving into the 5D plus densities. Now, I also feel an alternate message coming through at this time stating that it is going to bring upon some heavy energies as well for certain individuals who haven't previously been putting in the work or on a spiritual path or journey. And that's because when you do go into a spiritual journey, it tends to activate what's known as the dark night of the soul. And the dark night of the soul is an experience that can be quite burdensome, quite painful, quite heavy for a lot of individuals. Because you see, our 3D selves and our egos don't really know how to interpret those dark night energies. They feel like they don't even know how to comprehend it or put it into words or logically like process it or digest it. So it's very akin to feelings of depression, anxiety, internal conflict, and all of those things. However, it's necessary because this is the thing about the spiritual journey, you guys. It's not always going to be rainbows and roses. That's a huge misconception. A lot of the times it requires going into the darkness in order to seek and get to the light. So we have to be willing to embrace whatever comes with this journey. This journey could be full of unknowns, full of uncertainty, full of so many different things, but having that trust, that faith, and like surrendering to the divine, that's really going to assist us so much on this journey. And I'm just going to pull from this abundance oracle deck to get more clarification on what we're supposed to be embodying and doing at this time. So right now I want to just clarify this last question. Spirit, how can those who experience the dark night of the soul and this heavy energy, who may not be akin to doing shadow work, have an easier time embracing it, surrendering to it, relinquishing control, letting go, and just allowing the journey to flow? Even though it's full of unknowns, uncertainties, fear, and all of those heavy energies. Oh, way too many cards, sorry. Okay, so how, Spirit, can these individuals be assisted with getting through these dark and heavy times of the dark night of the soul? Wow, okay, so it says liberation. Wow, the doubts and fears still come up. You don't believe anymore that they're you. Wow, how synchronistic is that? I was just talking about fears and all of these heavy energies that comes with the dark night of the soul. So this is saying liberation, and there's an image of a dragonfly here, who are masters of simultaneously existing on multiple dimensions and realms. So even though our 3D selves, our egoistic selves, could be interpreting this dark night of the soul as punishment or bad karma, that's not it. This is allowing us to elevate and to upgrade to a much higher frequency and vibration. And through just letting go, releasing the shackles of the mind and the ego, and liberating oneself, we'll be able to move out of these fears and doubts. Yeah, this is no longer a part of us. We're being liberated. This 1010 portal activation is liberating our souls, you guys. This is amazing. Spirit, is there any other messages you would like to give us as a collective to assist us on being able to get through these trying times that we're currently living in? Ooh, that is a lot of messages coming through. 2 minutes. Okay, Spirit, is there any other messages you would like to give us to assist us in navigating through these uncertain times that we're living in? How can we continue to be fearless, confident? Ooh, expansiveness. Eternity is far more creative than the rigid, constrained, and exhausted ego. Yes, was I not just talking about this? Releasing the shackles of the mind and the ego, expanding beyond that, breaking free from that energy, breaking out of it once and for all. And look at all these beautiful butterflies on this card. This represents total transformation. And I do believe like this 1010 portal is representing total expansiveness, because that's been coming to me like all day today. See, we're being expanded beyond mere just 3D existence. We're being expanded to a place of true liberation, true creative potential, being more aligned and authentic with what it is our spirit and soul really desires, what our heart desires. We're now following our heart energy. We're overriding those systems of fear, of control, of limitation, of lack. And we're moving into a place of just being fully expanded. This is incredible. Thank you so much, Spirit, for these incredible messages coming through. Okay, now I'm being pulled. I'm being pulled to go ahead and call from the Pleiadian Oracle. And the Pleiadians are a group of star seeds who are guiding us at this time. And actually, they're responsible for a lot of that activations, upgrades, and downloads we have been receiving, as well as the Sirians. They're really here to assist us and help us to come into more balance, more harmony with our true potential and our true self. As a species, as humans, we're coming out of the darkness and we're moving into the light. So the Pleiadians are here to help us with that through these activations that they're actually gifting us with. So I'm very grateful to be connected to the Pleiadians. I did spend a lifetime or more as a Pleiadian starseed, so super connected to them, and I'm really excited to see what they have to say here. Dearest Pleiadian starseeds, Please provide us with some additional messages here. How can the collective continue to walk in this place of fearlessness, confidence, knowingness, clarity, and embody all of these higher vibrational emotions, feelings, beliefs that's really going to push us to the next level and get us to that next level? How, Pleiadians? How are we going to get there? What action steps can we take? Okay. Lightning Boy and Song of Your Soul. So I'm not sure what Lightning Boy means, so I'm going to look that up in the book. But I know Song of Your Soul has to do with getting quiet, like cutting off the noise. So this can mean like so many different things. This can mean just taking a break from your everyday reality, going out in nature, like going on a retreat. This can mean meditating, going within, quieting your mind, quieting the chatter. It also could mean just like disconnecting perhaps from technology or from socializing, like spending time alone. But this card really represents quieting the noise and the external distractions so that you can actually get in touch with the song of your soul. And your soul song is basically, that's your cosmic blueprint. That's who you're intended to be. That is your purpose, your higher purpose for incarnating here on the earth plane. And yeah, that is your reason for existing. Now, Lightning Boy is showing a god here, an Egyptian deity, and it's the number 33, which is a master number. I know you guys can't really see this, but yeah, there's an Egyptian god who I believe is either Amun-Ra or Ptah. He's sitting on a throne, and he's sitting in between these two mega crystals, quartz crystals, and there's lightning. It's either coming from out of his head, his crown chakra, or it's coming down from the cosmos. But either way, I do believe that this card represents something that has to do with the crown chakra and being connected to the divine source, receiving light codes, receiving light activations from the higher realms. But because I'm not really 100% sure on what this card means, we're gonna go ahead and look it up. So 33, Lightning Boy. There is a story from the Pleiades of a boy who was struck by lightning. Similar to your Earth, many of our worlds contain these forces which cause for electric bolts to breach from the sky to Earth. In particular is the story of Lightning Boy, who one day unexpectedly gets jolted by thunderous solar shock, sending pulsations through the veins in his body. The boy is temporarily pronounced dead as Pleiadian medical staff attempt to restore him back to vitality. But just as all hope is lost, this child, which we will refer to as Makkah, is instantly brought back to life and now holds the prophetic visions of what is to occur. Wow. He forewarns all those listening that a great cataclysm is headed to the very specific part of the land and instructs for all of the beings in the area to depart immediately. Reluctantly, the villagers follow, and soon after a massive earthquake rips the land, pulsating into the very area that Makkah forewarned to his community. The story of Lightning Boy is often foretold in our lands, for it is wise to always be open to wisdom and guidance hitting you when you least expect it. Here was Makkah, a young child pronounced dead, and was then jolted back to life to be a hero and save many lives through his experience. We share this story because your life has deep purpose. Sometimes the situation can look bleak and seem as if there is no end in sight, but just like Makkah being on death's door, one's fortunes can change in the blink of an eye. With life pulling you back to fulfill a much deeper purpose that you never dreamed possible. The story of Makkah is a reminder to never give up on yourself, for through your perseverance you will perform heroic acts that will help many down the road. As additional interpretation of this card is a time to give up. Now is not a time to give up. No matter the challenges of adversity you face, your Pleiadian family of light is requesting for you to go deep into your pools of faith, to know that your situation can change instantly. Keep moving, keep flowing. All will arise in time. Additional meaning: patience, rest, recharge. Take your time. Divine timing. Wait, changes. Wow, that's amazing. So yeah, I feel like that is Spirit and the Pleiadians just telling us that there's no need to rush it, We can take time to recharge, to rest if it's needed. We don't always have to be in force mode or action mode all the time, because sometimes we, as spirits having a human experience, don't always know what is best for us. So sometimes it is required for us to go within and to quiet the mind so that we can receive these beautiful messages, these beautiful downloads from the higher realms that truly want to help get us on the right path towards our highest purpose. So there's going to be times for rest and there's going to be times for action, but only we know when that is, and only you know as an individual when that is. Even though we're a part of this collective, you have to be in tune with yourself and your spirit and your intuition to know when the rest is necessary and going within is necessary, and when the action is necessary. But both of these are pretty much like retreat type cards. So I feel like at this time we are being more called to continue going within and doing that internal work rather than the external 3D physical work. I'm going to pull from the Rumi Oracle deck. We just need one additional message, Spirit, to kind of wrap up and close up this reading. Okay, that was pretty fast. So we got Hand of Fatima and the card 1. So I know the Hand of Fatima card has to do with the Divine Mother, like relinquishing to the unconditional love of the Divine Mother and being protected and guided by her warm embrace, knowing that she's always present whenever you need to call upon her. So perhaps if you're going through this dark night of the soul and having a hard time moving into the higher vibrational frequencies, like the 5D plus realms, then perhaps call upon the Divine Mother, call upon Fatima to help guide you, to help uplift you, and to just continue to carry you on this journey towards spiritual enlightenment and illumination. Now this one card, I really don't know what it means, but it's pretty, I feel like it's kind of self-explanatory. I feel like Spirit is telling us that we're one. So throughout the entire galactic, throughout the entire multiverse, we are all one. That goes for the parasitic creatures who may appear to have malicious intentions, but I don't even feel like they're malicious. I just feel like we live in a very diverse multiverse, so there's going to be all different types of beings. Like, because we live in a dualistic multiverse, it would be very unrealistic and naive to think that like every being is going to be a being of light and have good intentions. So we are one even with the parasitic beings. We are one with the microcosmic beings, the macrocosmic beings, from the tiniest, speck to the largest, most grandest celestial. We are one with all of these energies. And these energies embody us as a collective, as a whole, and they're all one with Source. So that means we can pull from any of these energies at any given moment. It's really a choice, and what one does affects the rest. So as a collective, we'll always be impacted by what our soul family is doing. Even if it's not our soul family, it could be somebody we don't identify with or people we don't identify with. Like, for instance, sometimes I have trouble communicating or connecting with people that aren't a part of my soul family, and they're still one with me and I'm still one with them. So I feel like Spirit is just saying to be more open to interacting with the one, and to knowing that each within the one serves its purpose. Even though we may not understand it, we may find it frustrating or annoying to deal with, they still exist for a very grand purpose, and we should respect that. So quickly I'll skim to see what the meaning means in the book, because I've never pulled that card before. It says, 1, I have abolished duality from myself. I have seen the two worlds as one. One I seek, one I know, one I see, and one I call. Wow. That's beautiful. So this has to do with abolishing duality. So no longer seeing us as separated or divided. Like the darkness and the lightness, they're one and the same. And they each serve their purpose. Thank you, Rumi Oracle deck. And just to close out this reading, I'm going to call from the Soul's Journey deck, just to get like some more messages on how we can move forward as a collective towards this vibrational dimensional shift, not only within ourselves, but as a planetary family. So Spirit, what message do you have for us to close out this reading? What do you want us to know? Empathy. I am open to seeing both sides of a situation. That's amazing. So I feel like, yeah, Spirit really wants us to embody being more empathetic, being more compassionate, embodying more unconditional love, seeing things from both sides. So if you get into a dispute or an argument, or you don't understand like why your loved one does something that they do, or just have more forgiveness in your heart, be more empathetic to them and their situation, and try to see it from their point of view. Always try to see things from two sides. Don't just be so rigid, so closed-minded that you totally dismiss somebody else's feelings or somebody else's path, because we're all on different paths, Yes, we're a collective, but we all have individual journeys as well. So it says, yes, I am open to seeing both sides of a situation. You don't truly understand others' motivations if you haven't lived their lives and seen the world through their eyes. It's so easy to judge another's behavior matched up against your own and label it as right or wrong, but you're missing an important part of the equation: the other person's history and personal path. And I feel like that also has to go with people's past lives, like sometimes we judge people based on this lifetime, but you don't know what that soul or that spirit has gone through in their previous lifetimes and incarnations. So we really have like no right to judge others at the end of the day. And sometimes we may be feeling judged by people, so then we judge them back. But I just feel like releasing that is the true path and the true purpose of an empath, because the empath can tap into other people's energy, other people's frequencies, things that are unsaid and not really apparent or blatant, and having that ability to do that while still maintaining a sense of compassion, understanding is really powerful, because it's acknowledging that everybody has their own unique path and we really don't have a right to judge anybody. It says, we are all sparks of the divine with a purpose here in the physical dimension, and we can all exert our free will. Some of us have lost our way along the path of love, and it is a human reaction to judge others, examining their journey through their eyes with compassion. Your job is to not judge. Your job is to love and understand. Yes, to love and understand. So letting go of those low vibrational frequencies of being judgmental, not only of others, but I feel like circumstances as well. You know, because we're so quick to judge circumstances and outcomes and situations. Like, no, that has to stop, because that is something we're just doing from a very limited 3D perspective. But things happen for reasons beyond and outside of our scope of understanding all of the time. All of the time. So yes, that is a really beautiful message to kind of close off with here. I do want to pull a few more oracle cards for you guys, just as final little messages to kind of close this off. And we'll just get 3 cards here. So Spirit, can you provide us with 3 cards, 3 final messages for how we as a collective can continue to move forward, be less judgmental, more understanding, more empathetic of people, their situation, their circumstances, and to see things from a lens of non-judgment, non-expectation, forgiveness, and unconditional love, because ultimately that is what we're meant to be learning at this time. And that is where the planet is intended to move with this new earth paradigm shift. So 3 messages, Spirit. 3 messages from the tarot. How can we embody more unconditional love? Cards are really just flopping out here. 1, 2. One more message, please, Spirit. Wow, that's crazy. This flipped over and look, the Ace of the Cups again. Since that flipped over, we'll just go ahead and take that one. So, Ace of Cups. An abundance of love is heading your way. You're open to love from the universe, and now love is ready to flow towards you. Get ready for a brand new beginning in a relationship, love of self, or phase of your life that is setting you on the course to emotional fulfillment. The universe is trying to bring a fresh energy of love into your life. Are you resisting it? Look at your beliefs when it comes to love and clear any blocks to allow for this beautiful new energy to enter. Yes. We graciously accept your Ace of Cups message, Spirit. Strength. You face challenges that have tested your inner strength before, rising from the ashes of what you thought would destroy you. Your courage, perseverance, and resilience knows no bounds. Now it's time to trust in this ability to overcome. Your egoic mind might be spinning stories of anger, grief, or doubt. Tame the ego by remembering you are the master of your thoughts and emotions. So yes, this is how we're going to become more empathetic and less judgmental, by really taming that ego, not being judgmental of people, places, things, circumstances, situations, outcomes, events. And then the Knight of Wands. Adventure seems to be calling as you confidently and passionately move towards your goal, with that initial spark of inspiration fueling you forward. Be bold and brave as you put your plans into motion. There's a sense of excitement and passion building in your relationship. Don't be afraid to feed this flame, but be aware where you or your partner might be acting too impulsively. Interesting. Very interesting messages tonight. Thank you so much, Spirit, for this beautiful 10-10 portal activation reading for the collective. We do graciously accept all of your messages, and we make a conscious decision to absorb all of these messages here tonight and integrate them into our auric field, into our light bodies. Anyways, you guys, thank you for tuning in. I really enjoyed doing this reading for you guys tonight, and I will speak to you again in another week or so. Much love, light,